Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons & Dragons. Or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons & Dragons. So if this is not something you want to watch, well, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, you're in luck. They have suggestions, either to the right or the left. We strongly encourage you to pick one and have a pleasant evening. For everyone else, hey, Valenby's already there. For everyone else who actually enjoys being here, watching us play Dungeons & Dragons, just enjoy watching Dungeons & Dragons. Welcome! If you're new, it's a pleasure to have you. And if you're not new, if you're back from previous session, well, welcome back. It is also a pleasure to have you with us. And as for publicities, if you like the sound of crackling fire in the background, ambient mixer, if you enjoy battle maps, which I don't think we'll have any tonight because our players are exhausted, quite literally, in-game, but if we have one, Dungeon Alchemist, and if you see a world map, Wonder Draft. And that's about everything I can possibly say. So we can start, unless one of you have something to add to this wonderful speech that I give every single episode. Interesting, interesting. I understand your point of view. No, please, come on, say something.
Something.
But
Intriguing, intriguing.
antelope.
It's been a while since I had some. Alright, so since no one has anything to add, let's get started in today's episode. And while I try to find which document has this, I hope you all had a very pleasant holiday, no matter which one you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate one that has a name, I hope you had a pleasant winter solstice celebration, because that covers almost every single philosophy and religion around the world. So, and if you didn't, well, I hope you'll have a pleasant summer solstice. It's a long way, but still, I hope you'll have a pleasant one.
Actually, I think that would really only cover half the world.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was thinking. Because the other hemisphere, they're doing their summer solstice. So if you're on the other half of the world, I hope you had a pleasant summer solstice celebration.
Hope you enjoyed your beach episode.
Which ended with everyone being so tired of the beach. And that is how it usually ends on the beach, at least in my family. So, let's get started. What happened?
Only when they're ice cream.
We got down and dirty at the beach. Thought you just said.
We got crabs. We got crabs at the beach.
Yes, yes, of course. That is one way of putting it. Okay. Before we get cancelled, let's get started on this episode. Alright, so last episode, the party got its first sample of this new island chain they are adventuring into. A dark, gloomy, and oppressed region. Fortunately, they were also able to see some of the more intriguing elements of this island chain. Trains and towns which seems to have grown around it. And then again, unfortunately, this initial exploration and impulse was cut short as one of their companions was still missing. Learning they could be in trouble with some of the local arcane construct, they quickly left town in search of their friend. What they found, however, was trouble. I think I've just repeated last episode, didn't I?
Knew we were trouble when we dropped in.
Interesting, interesting. That means that is not the right document. I am reading the... Okay. Ah! Much smaller, and more interesting.
Last time on Total Drama Island. Sorry.
No, well, it just solidifies the time night thing, you know. We had a
Yes, we get to do that fight all over again.
yeah.
No.
Where you were. I hope you had
least
time
I'm on
to
a run.
come up with new strategies.
It was all a dream. We're actually falling down now.
All right.
Actually, we never left the garden.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're level 1.
Three.
I'm still trapped.
You're on that day just before entering the garden, that little village in Graz Hill. So long
Oof.
ago. Alright, so, today's introduction. Sorry, strange week. The party got its first glimpse of what it means to live in the Misty Isles. Yeah, that's better. Machine designed to completely suppress magic user, keeping order among a population generally ill-equipped to oppose construct of such oppressing design. Then there are the Pitch Black Night, which falls much earlier than elsewhere in the Shattered Continent, forcing the population to depend on arcane-fueled lights. Exhausted, quite literally, from their last fight, the party needs to find a place to hide for a few days until they are back to their full health, which might be slightly difficult. They might draw a little bit of attention in their present state. But nonetheless, this is where they are. And right now, they are arriving in the central... can I have this... the map of this... small map. There you go. This is the island where they currently are right now, which I had shown last episode, and they are arriving at the dot in the center of it, sorry, with the star on it, which is, according to what was said, the largest city of this island.
Oh, so we were in that right town, the right dot?
Yes, you were on the easternmost town, yes. The one right next to the city. Right next to the ocean, sorry. This is where you landed. Most likely, the mountains you were seeing were the mountains that are a little bit up north, which some of them are big enough, high enough, to be seen from very far in the distance. And you spent a little bit of time going southward on the beach. Then came back after being nearly pulverized, having audience nearly killed, Tobiyashi nearly captured, Fisher also nearly killed with exhaustion, him, however. And Remy actually taking damage.
Let's go.
And so, you are currently arriving. If I remember correctly, I said the train takes you, as it's slowing down, it takes you a bit on a sightseeing tour of the city as it just enters and starts going around the perimeter of the city and going slowly toward the center. You realize that the railroad go on different levels also. So there are some above ground on the bridge, railroad track, which you are on right now, creating interesting small tunnels in the city below. It's nearly completely dark when you arrive. There may be a few remaining bits of light in the sky, but that is all. It is nearly pitch black. If you look to your left, it's completely black. If you look to your right, you can only see the faintest of color in the sky, which is mostly gray because of the perpetual mist everywhere. The city is made of stone, nearly completely and entirely. Some buildings have more than one floor, and only those don't necessarily have stone all the way up, but the first floor is always made of stone. There are a lot of small passages, alleys covered by houses which were made above them. You easily see how people walking in this would not want to walk there with no lights. Too many places where you can just get ambushed by a proficient thief. Remy, for you, you look at this, and this is nearly paradise. If only there were a bit more light, it would be paradise. Feel like you could probably scout the entire city without being seen by humanoid's eye. Who knows construct, but humanoid's eye, definitely.
That's the stealth drone flying above.
Just staring at you all the way. Hearing from time to time in your head, I can see you.
They're here.
And then you see a dozen Guardian Sphere arriving.
Are you there? Nice.
Good memories. Good memories. You'll have to try and burn one of them, because I want to say, oh, it burns. Ah. On your little tour of the city, although you can't see all that well, you do see that there are a lot of machines in there. Most of them just seems to be machines that help do the everyday life. Some of them are pulling carts by themselves. Some of them are helping people just finish closing their store. But some of them look better armed. Some look like huge knights. Maybe large. It's difficult from your point of view. Some have very animal-like traits. And of course, you see some that look like the Mill E that you saw. You see some which are wearing a cloak very similar to what Civ is always wearing. And when you look up, you see, you think you only see one, but it came back too quickly. So there's probably two floating in the air. This huge flying manta ray. After maybe a good 10 minutes of this sightseeing tour, train slowly starts to lose all speed that it had. You try and look out one of the window and you realize that you're almost there. You start seeing this larger scale place. It's very much similar to where you were when you entered the train, but this one is more elaborate. You even notice another train that is there, waiting to leave in a different direction. A lot of people getting off, leaving for whatever they're doing. And this is when the train suddenly just gently stops with one last as it stopped. Most likely waking audience.
I think I slept too for the rest of the ride. Yeah.
Then Tobiyashi also, who just got pushed an audience because of this, and this is why audience woke up, because he was really out cold.
It was a short rest, right?
Yes. Yes, you can all have a short
I did
rest. The trip lasted somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So sorry, you'd only have time for a short rest. You start hearing someone yelling outside, "Last stop of the day! Get out of the train! Now!"
You go home, but you can't stay here.
I don't know where audience is sitting or if we're sitting next to each other, but I'll go up to audience as we're like standing up. I'm like, so I'll be whispering.
Yeah, because
so,
there's another person in the cabin with you. He's sort of groggily waking up also, just...
Yeah, I whisper to him. I'm like, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna whisper. I take out a paper and something to write with. And I'm going to write down. Do you know? So magic is bad. So, do you think they have detect magic anywhere here? I hand you the paper. So you can read it.
Guards, the Emmy units might, but the common townspeople probably wouldn't. I mean, potentially if you're trying to get into like a higher, like if you're trying to get into somewhere that you shouldn't be going, but not just like wandering around, I don't think.
Okay. That wouldn't be good. Okay, all right, let's go.
All right, we should find a place for me to sleep.
Yeah, I do need to rest.
So like a tavern or an inn.
Alright, we get off the train.
We get off the train.
Did you say this out loud? Audience?
I no, but I just get off the train.
I also get off the train.
We go.
Yeah.
I want to know, did you say this out loud in the cabin that you need to find an inn?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, the person that was half asleep... Oh, you're looking for a place to sleep, huh? Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, sure, I can help you. You know, there's a little quaint place. Not too far from here. I always take a break whenever I come back from long travels. And I mean, if I bring people, they give me a discount, so...
Okay.
Bubbles.
Sounds good. We'll get you your discount.
Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... that should be an interesting night. Alright.
A 50% discount right there.
Yeah, sure. Alright, alright. Alright, come on. Oh my,
Alright, let's go.
You're a strange group. Where are you from? As he starts walking outside with you.
I'm just an old man.
I like how you were talking normal at first. Then, what was the last place called that we were at? Oh, we didn't get the name of it.
And so the Time Knights realized the fatal flaw in their weeks of careful planning. Come up with a door.
I don't want to say this, and I'm gonna be wrong. We're coming from the east.
Oh, the station's to the east. Yeah, sure, I know it. What are you doing there? Fisherman?
I'm an old man.
Just looking for work.
Oh, why did you come here? If you were there, that means you were there for fishing work. A lot of fishing here.
Yeah, we came here to get some
wanted
more.
to see the capital.
Yeah, we just have to fill up on some things. There was some gear that they didn't have out there. We just came over here to see if they had any.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He looks at you, audience, as it takes a moment. You're almost out of the current wagon, nearly going outside, and he starts trying to get a look at your face, audience. You just this. You look interesting.
No, I have leprosy.
No.
I've got to cover my scars. Do you want to know how I got these scars? No.
We need to wrap like the bottom of your face up or something.
You said leprosy. The guy just froze for a moment. Huh? So which one it is? Leprosy or a horribly deformed face? Because, you know, if
I'm an old man. I've lived a long life. I've seen some shit in my days, sonny.
Yeah! He turns toward you, Tobiash, and says, you sure? He says he's okay for an inn? Maybe a temple would be more his style.
He's fine. He's going a little bit, crazy, but anyways, he's kind of self-conscious about it. I wouldn't mention it, or like he gets a little down when you say something about it. So anyway, so about that inn, where is it at actually?
I get down because you're such a bad son. Do nothing.
You know what, Grandpa, don't listen. Grandpa, it's not the time. It's not the time.
Need everybody to know that there is a 4-pronged talon-shaped mark on Raimi's forehead from the number of times that said talon had interacted with his forehead in half a minute of conversation.
To the point where
Permanent.
you're starting to fear that you're actually going to cause a point of damage, bludgeoning damage.
Can I look around to see if we're like drawing attention outside of this one dude?
I'm supposing we're walking while we're doing this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're slowly making your way outside of the wagon. Up until the leprosy thing, you weren't drawing a whole lot of attention. Remy was drawing a little bit of attention, but mostly just whispers. No one seemed to feel like you needed to be reported or anything. But when the whole episode about leprosy and everyone trying to not start laughing in the group as the audience and Tobiashi are trying to make this fit, up until then it was fine, but now some people are looking, watching, get the feeling that
never not cause a scene.
No, for now it's just curiosity. There doesn't seem to be anyone who just went out running to get a guard or something, but a few curious around. You even see someone that a bit in the distance trying to get a peek under audience's hood. Horribly deformed.
I also like that I'm still carrying Fisher's massive sword because he handed it to me and I never gave it back to him.
Old man can fight.
So you guys have to use those two phrases right next to each other.
Don't worry
Well,
about it.
that's Dungeons and Dragons. If you can't handle it. All right. So, like I said, you draw a little bit of attention, but mostly the banter between the two of you go over well with the person guiding you outside of the train. Apparently, with that role, he really believes that it's son with
Crazy grandpa.
slightly dementia-affected grandpa. Yes.
You did it right. Let's go.
So, I haven't met a whole lot of people walking around like you. I mean, he points to you toward George. Says, you look like you just came out of the wood. How does that work? It's dangerous enough during the day, but
yeah, I live in there. It's not too dangerous once you get to know it.
really,
Yeah, you just gotta feel it out. I help them with fishing work sometimes.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess once you know how to not draw attention from zombies, it's probably mostly fine walking out there.
Yeah, that's why I wear this stuff. It's kind of a camouflage when you get it really dirty.
Oh, that's how they hunt? I didn't know that.
I don't know. It seems to work.
Huh, interesting. I'll have to talk about this with my brother-in-law. Does a whole lot of forest things.
Forest things.
So my
Fascinating.
okay, I have a question for the DM.
Yeah.
Did Tiv tell us how people get? Like, are people still coming to this island? Are they still being sent here? Like, can you be new to this island?
Usually, if you're new, it's because the fog snatched your ship as you were passing. There are no more commercial lane, so it's usually
would've
an
been
accident.
Mm.
And if you're an accident, you're also a source of uncertainty.
Well, good we didn't go with that.
And of course, if you are not born on this island and you're still here, then people will assume you're guilty of something.
Moral of the story: if people look down on you if they think you're an accident.
I want to say that's most of the... Anyway.
I was gonna say, I guess they would look like you're a regular person if you're an accident, since we're all here. I don't know. They think you're trustworthy. Well, trustworthy to a point.
Well, there's been people living here for a very long time, for thousands of years. So there's a very healthy population with people being born, living there, and dying there. Civ did say that a lot of people are very much afraid of trying to get themselves evaluated, simply because they are born here. And some bear marks which have been openly branded as irredeemable, like tieflings. Many will simply say that, well, the proof is on your face, that you're just guilty. So, but there are people being born here. It's been doing this for thousands of years, so there's always the assumption that if you're here, you were probably born here. So he takes you out of the wagon. Come on! Don't stay behind. Where's that little black feathered guy of yours? Can't see him.
He's around. He'll pop out
Show
sometime.
up.
I can't see anything.
We know,
Are
Grandpa.
you
We know.
okay? Can you raise both hands, please?
Sometimes I lean over to the guy. Sometimes I have to attach a rope to him. He gets lost so easily.
Wow, that oh, all right. Yeah, I guess that would be a good idea then, especially in the city after dark. After, it's... Wow. Colorful group. And you think he means that quite literally. Well, if nothing else, you can always have your machine make sure he doesn't stray too much.
I will.
Good machine.
I just look over at Fisher, kind of panicking. Look over at audience. Give him a nod. I don't want to
I just
command you or
shrug.
anything. Just like, all right, let's go.
That can actually be an interesting trick. As he's walking in the scene and starts walking outside of the station. You tie a rope with your grandpa on the machine. You tell the machine to not move, and so grandpa can start walking in every direction. Although I do admit that would feel a bit like tying a dog to a post. But some people are okay with this.
You gotta do what you gotta do when there's zombies around.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want your grandpa getting eaten so close to the end of his life, then coming back as a
Jorg.
zombie and trying to eat you.
Jorg is now just the Rick Grimes of the group. He just
He's the homeless person of the group.
the zombie specialist.
Do we know anything about the zombies?
Well, you know about zombies in general, but you don't know if they're different here.
Hmm.
You know that there are dead people. You know that there are dead people reanimated. And this is a cycle which druids are very much against.
Yeah.
It's sort of a break in the circle of life, so...
Yeah. That is not how it's supposed to go.
No.
Like, what did one of your NPCs say at one point, Draken? Just like going backwards.
I don't remember which one said this, but yeah, definitely.
Almost like going back in time. Sorry. Cue the music.
It was the that I always forget her name.
Which one? There has been many.
Cleric that we let die.
Oh!
Oh.
Hold on. I have her name
You had a
right
duck
here.
cleric that you let die?
Kathan.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Buried but not forgotten. Except she's kind of forgotten.
I like how you're starting to sound like Goofy. You just sound like an old Goofy.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah,
You will be hearing this voice for the rest of the.
whenever you're in public, he starts talking like this. Okay. So, yeah, Jorg, you don't know much about zombies here. You do know that there is a relationship between the mist and the zombie. But also the mist as being a source of power. So analyze this whichever way you want. You don't have more clues than this. You know that from what Civ said, that on one island, when they attacked the generator protecting the tower, the mist got thicker and zombies got more, all undeads got more prominent, to the point where the group trying to attack the generator were being brought back to life before their knees touched the ground after they've been killed in combat. So there is a relationship between the mist and the undeads. You don't know which one it is.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't have to eat my words.
Well, no. So the person takes you a bit in the city. So yeah, you said wanted to visit the city, Grandpa. So I don't know how well you can see, but it's pretty much like every other stations. I don't know if you've been in the process from another island, but it's just a really big station. Or an extremely big waypoint. You know, does he remember what a way?
I
waypoints
wouldn't count
are?
on it, but
Okay.
it's been so long. He's getting there.
Yeah, I can understand
Yeah, it's a waypoint, Grandpa. It's a waypoint.
that. A really big one.
Ah!
Print, no notes. That's going directly to the voice reel.
All right. Well, you're. This is the last train of the day, so there's not a lot of shops still open. I hope you don't need anything special for your evening. Don't worry. Usually inns provide meal and things like that. Should be fine, and so long as you don't mind sleeping more than one in the same room. I think it's a bit late in the day. You might have to bunk up or share your room with someone.
Yeah, we'll be fine with that. That should work.
Especially since we're still within the last few days of the equinox celebration, you know? Still a few people traveling about.
That's good.
Yeah, people need to... it's good for morale, you know, the celebration.
Oh yeah, of course, especially around here. Like they say, just another day in paradise.
Where have you heard that?
Usually when I'm drinking at a tavern.
Oh, yeah. Okay. How about you, Grandpa? I'm sure you've seen some wild celebration in your days. You know, when you were younger?
Party! Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwarven ale, huh? He gives you a wink.
Yeah.
That'll put hair on your chest and in other places.
Getting uppity in my time. We loved it.
Yeah. All right. I like your grandpa. He's missing a few things up there, but you know, a few of the glyph probably got erased at some point. But hey,
He can be lively sometimes.
yeah, I'm sure.
So what is this? What is this place called? This tavern?
Oh, the tavern where... Yes, of course. Small place. Very cozy. Very familiar. You'll see. Small signs. It just says Black Barrel.
Okay.
Just in the corner of the street over there. Walks slowly. He looks a little bit cautious as he's walking.
Sorry, Draken.
Yeah.
This has been bugging me.
Go ahead.
Like I've been just like so like if this is information I would already know, great. But how well established is the calendar system of this world? And I'll refine that question with a statement, because like they said, they just celebrated the equinox event, but at least historically speaking, so like in the real world, we have used the more or less the stars as and the sun
Well,
dictate the passage of time with respect to the year. So is the assumption here that they were able to still keep track of the days after living here / being trapped here, or
well,
say,
yes, definitely. They there's not a problem with what he says. Can still make sense. They've had people coming here for centuries after the shattering, so usually equinox and solstice celebration are the first kind of celebration that appears in any society. And in the Shattered Continent, there's a fifth one that's really close. Their equivalent of Christmas. Christmas and New Year all stuck in the same celebration with the flows of arcane energy in the sky. So these 5 celebration, you can easily assume that they're everywhere in the world. The strange lights in the sky, they might be bright enough to be seen through the mists, but you wouldn't be sure. But history records them being there ever since the shattering occurred, so people would know about it. They might have lost when it actually happens, but they would know about it. Equinox and solstice are set with the amount of light in a day, so this can also be kept relatively well. Equinox being the moment where light and where day and night are equally long.
And I got that part. It's just I just feel like the mist kind of like complicates that part of the
Absolutely.
process.
There is an assumption you can make there that when they celebrate it has been more passed down as a tradition, because light would have been harder to keep track of. But they would have been able to keep track of solstice, because it is the moment where the day is the longest and the day is the shortest. That can still be seen. When is the moment where it's equal? That would have probably been able. They would have probably been able to keep it with math.
I'm going to lean on the machines doing all of the meticulous tracking, because I feel like these people are too depressed to
care.
Well, celebration helps.
Sorry, that was a bit of an aside. Just like it was just bugging me. Just like, wait, how the fuck are they keeping track of this?
Or they have those like the Vikings had the sunstones, where you can see
There's
the
no
sun
sun.
through the clouds.
Oh,
No, that's yeah. It like blocks light coming in from angles, so you can like locate the sun in the clouds. It's like
You'd still be able to generally know when you are in a day, because when the sun comes up, there is a little bit of light that comes through. It just gives you a feeling of being in a very cloudy day. Always gray like this, and always with this mist that limits your field of view. But there is enough light that comes through to be able to tell this is day. The difference being outside of these islands, when the sun sets, there's still usually another maybe hour before it's pitch black dark outside. For them, because of the mist, the moment the sun crosses the horizon, it's night. it's the middle of the night. So there would be differences there, but they would still be able to keep track of solstice.
Yeah. Apologies for the complete
No.
aside. Just wanted to, just like it was both related to a lore question, but also just like
Yeah.
okay.
No problem. You don't have to apologize for this.
We arrive at the Black Barrel.
Yes, we were almost there. Yes, exactly. You walk around. You do get a sense that this person leading you, which you do not know the name of, but have graciously accepted their offer to take you to an inn because he's going to get a good discount, is still a bit nervous walking in the street. He is watching dark corners. Whenever someone appears at the end of the street, especially if they have a cloak, especially for those of you with a high insight in people, you can recognize this moment of... And he just keeps walking as if... Oh god, no, okay, it's good, we're good. But it's so ingrained in its way of being that you're not even sure he realizes that he's doing this. It's become reflex to be afraid of someone appearing at the edge of your field of view, turning the corner alone with a black cloak.
Turns his head, jumps, realizes it's audience.
Oh, Grandpa, it's you. Oh, sorry.
Grandpa audience.
Grandpa audience.
Sorry, I've been known to be a little bit quiet sometimes.
Roll deception for this.
Yeah, of everything we've said so far, roll deception for that.
Sure, I'll roll deception.
Let's just be clear that like what, 3 of you?
I rolled a 4 on
Oh,
whether
no.
I'm quiet
Can I-
sometimes.
Can I assist him on this?
You don't have
To give him disadvantage on it.
Disadvantage.
His system.
You want me to roll lower than a 2?
Yeah, he's
See
a
if I
little
roll
bit
lower
crazy.
than
Sorry.
I'll see if I roll lower.
So
than
as
a
you
2.
say this, the poor man jumps even more because you say,
I did roll lower than a 2.
you basically yell that comment. I'm very quiet. He looks nervously around at every single noise, and
I grab audience shoulder. I'm like, calm down, Grandpa. He's right there. Don't need to yell.
Listen, when you're deaf, everything's really quiet to you.
in this gloomy environment, the lights of the inn feel like a welcome. A welcome place where you can rest, especially for you, Remy, who, although likes being in the shadow, doesn't like being in the dark. And the moment you see those lights coming out of the front windows of this inn with a small sign in the barrel that says the Black Barrel, you have this feeling of arriving in a small town in the middle of the night because you didn't estimate how long it would take you to get there, and you arrive in the middle of the night with this little inn with light coming out of the windows, and when someone opens the door, even more light just pouring out. There's something slightly poetic for you in this. For everyone else, it's just a warm inn.
I'll say I imagine it's also a wave of nostalgia, but for different reasons.
Definitely. So, The man arrives. Good, good. We're here. Please go inside. And he looks around, slightly nervous. He looks at the audience. Be careful, Grandpa. There's a step when you're entering the this inn.
Appreciate it, Sonny. Appreciate it.
When you entered the inn, there was a moment where it probably crossed your mind that this might be a con of some sort, but when you enter the inn, there is a moment of, okay, we didn't get con on our first night here. There are actually people there, they're talking, they're serving food, and there's a guy looking at us really weird, which is relatively normal in an inn. There's always someone watching people enter this place with a dark cloak and letting you feel like maybe you're not welcome. But then you hear the innkeeper. A voice you didn't think would be reassuring, but in the present context, you hear a old dwarf just going, "Ah! New faces! Well, almost. Come on in."
Well, that's a very new face. Haven't seen that face.
Well, actually, it's a four-face and a hood. Come on, sir. Get inside.
Yep. Yeah. Hello.
You don't need your hood inside. There's not gonna be a rain.
I'll go up to him like, sorry about the hood inside. That's my grandfather. He's a little bit how do we say? Disfigured. He likes to keep his hood up because he's a little bit self-conscious about it. He's kind of going out in the head area, so he might act a little strange.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right. The barrel's getting empty in there. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what can I do for you?
We're just looking for a place to stay for maybe a night or two.
Oh, well, if you got the money, I can surely accommodate. The man who just brought you is, and I brought them. You remember our deal?
Yeah, he helped us over here.
Yes, of course. So 5 people. I'll keep it in mind. Do you want to say the same as usual? Yes, absolutely. Exactly as always. It's always very good, very nice. Yes. We got one of our usual customers. You hear the voice of, you're not sure, gnome, halfling? Which one? The one that sells stuff. Oh! Got it! You see the man just go, no. We don't want anything right now. People got sick from the cheese you sold us last time. Get in a corner. I don't want to talk to you. Not for another month.
I'm gonna whisper over to Fisher. By cheese, they mean drugs. He's a drug dealer.
I mean,
okay.
I
really
Straight up
want to
believes
stay
him.
here then?
that cheese was not the cant for drugs.
Intriguing. So, well, you never know. You don't know the thief cants of this place. Maybe it is. It's most likely not.
Try and get some rooms and then lay low.
All right.
For as
So,
long as we
he looks at all of you. How many rooms?
2.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, that's easy enough to do. So, one room with 2 beds and one room with 3 beds. Oh no, sorry, I didn't see.
Yeah.
2 beds, 2 beds.
Yes.
Do you need a place to store your machine?
We usually like to keep him around, so he could stay in their room. I point over to Remy and George.
Right, okay. Make sure to at least have a closet in that room.
Okay, thank you. So how much is that going to run us?
Same thing as everyone else. Well, I don't see why there should be a difference.
Brilliant.
Everyone else.
And he's looking at you. You get the feeling that he's expecting some money.
You know what? Oh shit. Same as everyone else. What do people pay out here? Okay. So,
I don't travel much.
yeah.
How much is that?
Well, you'd at least have an idea of a room with 2 beds, which are most likely bunk beds. It's not going to be a very comfortable room because usually it's single beds. And it's not a big inn. So at most, from your travel, if they have the same price as everywhere else in the world, it's going to be around 5 silver a person. Up to 5 silver.
5 silver a person?
Up to 5 silver. It could be less. Maybe you're not sure the condition of the room. Could be a single silver per person. Could be 7 copper for a person. You're pretty sure it's not going to go above 5 silver for each person.
Can I hand him 5 silver?
Of course, yeah, you can.
I'll do that.
How does he react?
Right. I'm sure we have one of our better rooms ready.
All right, I'll hand him 5 silver too. Actually, I'll hand him 10 silver for me and Grandpa over here.
5 silver per room, so you guys sharing a room would just be 5.
Well, no, he said per person.
Per bed, I should have said. Sorry.
Oh.
So 10.
A bunk bed is still considered a single bed.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll still hand him 10. We had a good fishing trip.
Very generous. I'm sure the maid will very much appreciate this.
Yeah, no problem. We just got back from fishing down east. So we
I have
we
a
made
cousin
quite a
living
bit
there.
over What's his name?
You don't know my cousin? He's probably the only dwarf living there.
The only dwarf. Okay. I don't know. We didn't see much dwarfs down there. We kind of just stayed fishing for a while.
Well,
So,
yeah. He works at the inn closest to the dock.
Okay. I'm not sure. We might have seen him. I don't know. Usually when we come back from fishing, I get super drunk, to the point where I black out. So get ready for that.
For that one, I'll ask you to roll deception.
What my die? Okay.
I'll give him advantage by saying he does out like a log, just like his old grandpa.
Deception. Okay.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
16.
Okay. Looks at
16
you.
flat.
He looks at you for a moment, and those of you with a high insight, do you see the suspicion rising in then just slowly deflating. Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of sailors drink a lot. Never understood the thing with water. I mean, water is good for making good ale. But other than that, well, I guess a good bath is always something. Especially when you want to impress someone. Know what I mean? Huh, Grandpa?
Yeah, I don't bathe. The ladies like my natural musk.
Oh no!
Grandpa, you nasty.
Hobo.
Well, that does explain the scent. All right. Don't forget, under this, even though you've been slightly healed, you're still covered in blood.
Yep.
I look over to Remy. I'm like, pay the man.
I'm sorry, say that again, Toby. I didn't quite hear.
Oh, I said, pay the man.
Wait, didn't you guys already pay him?
I paid him.
We paid for our own beds. We
Oh.
did 5, 5, 5 silver pieces each. That's 3.
So basically saying that they paid for everyone except you.
Sorry, my apologies here.
Well, he's implying that when he paid 10 silver, he didn't pay for anyone else. He just paid and gave a tip.
Oh,
I mean, it could be for you. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put another silver, another 10, not 10. Oh my lord, 5 silver for Remy.
I feel like overpaying might be more suspicious.
Yeah, I was hoping until this happened, essentially, because I have no meter. But I was hoping to like maybe possibly like do either a combination or one or the other of like a perception or insight roll to act like more precisely gauge his reaction to like expectation versus reality.
Okay. Of the dwarf?
I
Yeah,
redact what I did.
yeah, it's like when because like Jorg put down 5 silver, for example.
Yeah.
So like when Jorg put down 5 silver, like did it like watching for his reaction? Did it seem did he seem surprised by the amount, or is it kind of like similar to like like whenever people like encounter an everyday transaction, just like, okay, yep, nothing interesting here.
His reaction was more in the cusp of, oh, you want the high quality? Yeah, okay. More something like that.
Okay. Well, since I think Jorg and Ramy are in the same room, I think he's been like pigeonholed into paying the same amount. So like he just like still watching his face, but like giving over 5 silver himself.
Okay. All right then. I guess everyone has a room. I'll make sure that there is a place to store your machine. Also, don't worry about it. And yeah. Kitchens are still open for another 2 hours. If you want something to eat, my lovely wife will be more than happy to serve you something. You hear in the kitchen, "Shut up! I want to go to bed also!" Like I said, she's going to be more than happy to serve you something. I'm going to go talk to her for a moment. Please, if you want something to eat or drink, take a seat. I'll be back in a moment. I'll send someone for you. You go back inside, and you just before closing the door, you hear, "We have new. I don't care. We have new customers. It's all. I don't care. I've been working." And the door closes.
All right, Grandpa, we should probably get you to rest. And then I'll start leading him over to upstairs, wherever our room is. I don't know. Did he tell us what number? We have numbers?
No, but it only takes a moment before you see a halfling arriving with 2 keys and just saying, here, I think this one is yours, and this one is yours. Here. Please don't break anything in the room. I know some people are still celebrating, but still, you know, we have to pay for this stuff when you break it. So, and you can eat in your room if you want. We don't have any problem with this. We know that some people like their privacy. But it's always, we prefer it if you eat downstairs. It's just easier to clean, make sure that nothing is left, and the maid actually has a bit of a temper.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
if you want, we can definitely serve you in your room. Just try to stay clean.
We'll do.
All right. And if you need to go to the, to relieve yourself, it's at the end of the hall on the 2nd floor, the one that is next to the back wall.
Okay, sounds good. You hear that, Grandpa? In the middle of the
No.
night, if you have to go to the bathroom, down the hall to the right.
So he makes it there this time.
You see the halfling just looking at you, Tobiashi, and audience when he says, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to go tell the maid."
All right, let's go.
In the background, Remy, because you have such a high passive perception, you hear the voice of the gnome just saying, "Audra, you might have something to clean up during the night." You don't hear the answer.
All right, I go. Well, I don't know if audience follows me, but I'll lead audience up.
I'll
and then
go up. No, I'm
I go to
exhausted.
sleep.
I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I go to sleep with audience.
Sleep with audience. Remy's gonna be
In
jealous.
the same bed. Big spoon or little spoon, audience? We gotta know.
Tobiashi says right before entering the room when Remy is 5 paces in front. Hearing this.
Staring at me. I don't know what to do. Let's go.
You don't know why, but the entire night it feels like Remy
Who brought out
plays.
the rag murderous
Yeah,
intent?
in the room. You're not sure how, but it feels like it was there all night long.
It's like for some reason, even though you're sure that you locked your door, feels like somebody was like been watching you the whole night.
I go on my bed and just pass out.
Jorg,
Yes.
it's a bit my fault because I didn't send you the entire PDF, but you did buy a feat, which gave you the ability to make potions.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel obligated to tell you that among the very first level of this, there is a potion that is served in the form of a tea that helps to remove exhaustion if it is drank
Oh.
before going to bed. you would need to make it, but since you've been doing so much mushroom foraging, I am willing to take into consideration that you have the necessary herbs, but you'd need to prepare it.
Okay.
You'd need about a day to make it. So it would be something
Okay.
that you could serve everyone tomorrow, right before they go to bed. So instead of you needing 3 days to completely recover, they'd be able to recover in 2 days.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to prepare that during the next day.
I ran out of names for every concoction.
Blueberry banana surprise.
What does
My
that
real
do?
question
Get up
is,
coffee.
Yes?
my real question is, if any, I'm asking the group, if anybody asked our names, all right if I give them a fake one?
Yes. Would it hurt to give them a real one?
Well, maybe,
Okay.
maybe. Like I said, maybe. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a good idea not to have our real names out there.
Yeah.
All right, so the big
Probably
question
a good idea.
is, how confident are you to just fall asleep like
Go
a
to
log
bed.
in this new and strange place? It is
Well,
an
I guess-
inn, but it is also a place where everyone feels like death is looming above their head. So,
We've got an construct in our room.
I don't have any. No, we wouldn't be able to use them anyways. I guess before going to bed, I would. What would wake me up? I'll put a. Okay, so when my silk is destroyed, can I feel it?
I'd say yes. It is part of you. It is a. You'd feel the return of energy to your body.
Would it be enough to wake me up?
It would be enough to give you advantage to wake you up.
Okay. I will. I'll set. So kind of like at the base of the door. I'll set up kind of like a piece of my silk, long ways, kind of right at the front of the door, so that you would have to push it open to break it, or cut it to break it to get in.
Okay.
And then I'll use a key point to have that active. It's not a part of my body.
Okay. What about food and water?
Do we want to use our rations on this? Could just eat our rations, Grandpa.
Yeah, I can make
I
some
got
good
rations.
berries.
I got 2 weeks. Spent my heart and. Oh wait, I'm just with Toby. But yeah, we can do rations.
I'll make some good berries, and I can spread them out through everybody.
All right. Not very filling, but
you should
it goes
you
through
should
the
do
night.
that in your you should do that in your room. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Hopefully no one detects magic in here.
Because Tobiyashi keeps accidentally oversimplifying it, it's very specifically arcane magic. It's a
Well, is that not arcane magic?
area for
No, druidic magic is divine magic.
Oh, okay. So magic. Okay, so all right, sounds good. And
It's-
would they be able? So, if we use the magic from our items, is that arcane magic, or is that like our?
Well, you're not sure
Artifact?
because you weren't there when they were made. It could be divine. It could be arcane. Gods do grant the ability to send messages. Mage can also. So, You don't
Okay.
know. You do know
Alright,
that
I set up-
you do know that Civ did ask specifically that any tracking device be removed from the new orbs that you were given.
Mhm.
But beyond this, you don't know.
I will set up our trap. I'll have me and Grandpa eat rations, and then we'll go to bed.
Or the berry.
Or yeah, the berry. If Dora gives it to us, yeah,
Hmm.
berry.
Yeah, if you guys would rather.
Then Remy pours
why
a bit
not?
of water in everyone's bowl.
I'll have a mix of both berry and rations. I did buy the rations, so I might as well eat some of them.
Well, the good berry can keep you fed for, I believe, it's an entire day.
Yeah, I guess I'll save the rations for an emergency in case we're here for more than 2 weeks.
I'm
We
not.
get
I'm not.
stranded.
I'm not saying that you can't, but it would be.
Yeah, no, we might end up being here for more than 2 weeks. So I did only buy 2 weeks of rations, so good to have them in reserves.
All right. So, you're all alone in your rooms. You don't need to go to sleep right now. If there are things you want to talk about, things you want to settle, if you want to try and communicate with Civ, you're just before going to bed. This is a perfect moment to talk about this, try this, or whatever.
I think first and foremost, because somebody else needs to know this, Raimi is going to hand over his copy of Calm's message over to Fisher.
Didn't we already go over that together?
No, you explicitly said last session that you're having trouble
Okay.
following, as it were. I think you rolled too low. Or whatever. But now that we're in the privacy of our own rooms, you have other ways to
Yeah.
put things in.
Take the book out. Take the worm out.
Yeah, I'd richly cast
And
comprehend languages.
Alright. You take the long way to cast this arcane spell and finish casting it, and then suddenly everything becomes clear in your mind. It does take Remy's help because he's already deciphered how the message was written. And there are a few points where Remy's reproduction is not perfect. So there's a weird letter there, and then that word, it's probably not that. It feels very similar to this. Might have been a typo.
Oh, and because I went to sleep, I get 1 point of exhaustion off. All my spells.
Spells, yes. If you succeed your medicine roll, don't worry, don't forget about those. You'll be able to heal even more.
Medicine, where's that?
Unless Jorg wants to completely exhaust all of its magic to heal everyone before going to bed.
What did you have to beat for your medicine roll? Was it 10?
I think we went with this. I was considering the worse you are, the higher the DC, but yeah, 10 is good.
Okay, so
You only
I got
have
12. So I
4
can
more spell slots.
12.
So
I'm fine.
It doesn't,
I hardly took any damage. I just got the life drained out.
So it doesn't say on the thing. Do I get my slots of the lightning bolt back? Like both of them?
In a long rest, you should get everything back.
Yes, as stated, It comes back at dawn or after a long rest.
At
should dawn never come.
Like cloak of mirrors.
Yes, when you put it like that.
I can't help but to think that Remy keeps thinking we're gonna be in a place at one point where dawn is not gonna come. Why did he write this on every single object he made?
That's what you sign up for when you join the Time Knights.
Yeah. Sometimes dawn
know.
never comes.
What did my health just... Does anyone know what my health was before I just clicked take the long rest button and it reset my HP to something completely different?
I believe you said you had managed to heal all the way back to...
No.
not-
My max HP got changed on the site.
Oh.
What?
It was around me.
It's
I have
slightly
84.
higher than Fish.
It was like 87, right? Does
That
that sound right?
sounds right.
You were in
Oh,
the
no,
80s.
this is the perfect time. You have 100. You have 100 hit points.
No, I
don't think
remember...
it's possible.
I remember he was in the 80s, but I don't
He
remember...
has 3,000 hit points?
I think
What?
you were
87.
slightly higher than me.
Why
And
did
I'm
your
at
HP
84.
change?
When I took long rest, it didn't even heal me correctly. It just now everything's fucked up. All right, I'm just gonna read. Okay, so what was I at? I was at 53.
Well, what the heck? You changed mine, too.
Ooh, check your like D&D Beyond settings.
Okay, long
Sometimes-
rest, recover.
I have
Okay.
70.
Settings. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if this works. Okay, so that worked with the long rest. Okay, that worked. That was correct. You have to uncheck the box reset maximum HP during the rest. Because it thinks our max HP should be different than what it is. And now I'm down to exhaustion level 2. Okay, perfect. That's where I should be. This is correct.
Did Jorg end up making any of those potions?
Not yet. I have
He's
to
going
next
to need a day to make the tea.
Okay,
So it's going to
That
be
makes-
for tomorrow.
understandable.
Well, look, I think I made this clear like after session, after stream, but like we're not going on any adventures the next day. I hope y'all.
Jason, take a nice break.
Oh yeah.
Unless y'all want to walk at half speed.
Suddenly, Grandpa
Yeah,
is
no.
going to become a whole lot more lively after a good rest.
We can. No, I still have half speed.
All right. So, yes.
But yeah, I was gonna say I think we should all just try because he said that there was books we could research in this city, or this was where we were told to go to do research.
Well, yeah. Going on a quest for knowledge is not a exhausting quest, so sure, that could be your goal for tomorrow. Learn more about the city where everything is. In other words, you're going sightseeing. You're doing the tourist thing.
Pretty much.
All right. So, everyone goes to bed. Everyone starts to relax. And
Well, not precisely. Not
Yes.
because now I'm thinking about it. This is also technically a good test of things, but
Yes.
During the exact same time when Fisher was like ritual casting, comprehend languages,
yes.
he's also just going to ritual cast alarm on the door, but it's a silent alarm that just will wake him up.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. All right.
but also, this is also the moment though where Raimi is going to also turn to Fisher, and then minor illusion, Terry.
I am not super sure if I want to bring him out here. Is there a specific reason you like? Do you think he could better understand what you found, or?
You're gonna have to, Draken. You'll have to remind me about the precise wording. Like, did the judge was the judge's voice more or less like you have been sentenced, you have been judged?
Oh goodness. More you've been judged. You are guilty.
All right. Raimi produces that have been judged. You are guilty.
And since you reproduce this pretty generally very accurately, there's this moment of shh because it's a thunderous voice that you heard inside of your head. So that's a thunderous voice that you copy. Probably coming from Jorg, you know.
He's back.
There's that whiplash of being unprotected by the judgment of this creature also that comes back in your memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty traumatizing. I mean, it was pretty traumatizing. His new house I purchased.
Yes.
It is extra dimensional, right?
Yes. As far as you know, so long as you keep it closed, it is its own enclosed space. You ask that it be completely insulated from the outside world, so he would not feel any shakes, any blasts of energy. But you don't know if this was enough to be protected against being judged. But the main point is he didn't feel the fall, he didn't feel you hitting the ground, and he most likely did not feel the stun lance that you felt repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm worried if I open it now, if he didn't go through the mist, if he would get the same, if he'd go through the same thing when I open it.
I don't think he's done anything bad.
No, but
So from inside of you, Fisher, you hear Taranad just go, yes, because that's exactly what fathers do. You know, they never ask their children if everything's okay, and that makes it all good.
well, I'm sorry. I was never raised.
It shows.
I don't know what they're supposed to do. I guess I will take out Terranet or Terry. Yeah, take out Terranet. Time out.
take
Shut
out-
up. Go. Check him out the window. Never see you again.
Time out.
Yeah, I guess I'll take out Terry.
You open the box.
And get out my notes on his language that I have.
I feel like the guy taking the dictionary. Okay. Here we go. We open it. Now, what he's going to say.
Yeah, that's pretty much just going to be like...
So Fisher always looks like a tourist when he's with Terry.
This is what good parenting looks like, guys.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know if you know this, but
¿Dónde está el piano?
He has the child raising book that he bought. He's just looking
Mhm.
through it while he's talking to him.
Or
That's
if you have the right wording but not the right place in the world. Où sont les becos? Yeah, no one's gonna know what you're saying if you say this in Quebec. Even in France, they're gonna. So you go through the rooms, and eventually you do find Terry. He's apparently cooking dinner in front of the machine, getting food, getting water out. When he sees you, he just looks up. You see a bunch of stars appearing. And then, fortunately, you still have the translation of the spell. And you just hear, "It's very comfortable here. Very roomy. I did feel a slight shift in the fabric of reality. What happened?"
I will try to convey that we passed through a magic barrier, so to speak. And then I'll ask him if he's okay.
Well, it was slightly disturbing. There was this voice. Who said I could leave whenever I wanted.
I knew it.
I mean,
Yeah,
we,
you're good, man.
I'm not sure what
That's-
this means.
We've entered a dangerous place. And the barrier we went through can be a one-way barrier for some people.
Is it a
So it's
one-way
telling
barrier
you.
for us?
Not for you, apparently.
Oh,
But currently, it is for me and the rest of my party. But we think we have a way out, so you shouldn't worry about it.
even the one who is very distant.
Yes.
What's that?
Which one is that?
Well, you keep referring to him as a warrior of the light, as a holy person.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh. Yes.
I mean, by definition, he should be alright. If he is a paragon of virtue.
He's a paragon of something.
Oh,
Very sass. Okay.
Depends on your definition of virtue.
Loose.
alright. Well, I'm not surprised for some. I'm a bit surprised for others. But if you say that for now everything is okay, then it is okay. I wish for you to tell me if there is ever something that is not okay. That way, at least I can react to it and not be blind to what is happening
Left
outside.
in a dark box.
I'll do my best to keep you aware of important things going on now that I can actually talk to you.
You know, give him a sending stone. That's what you need to get.
It is. I'm not sure it works when there is a breach in dimension.
It's a baby monitor. It's just a baby monitor.
Does.
Baby
It
monitor.
just has like a small chance.
It goes through planes, right?
Yeah. I
Sending?
think there's just a 5% chance it doesn't work when it goes through planes. But I think other than that, I think it's good. But he can't do noise, so I don't know how a sending stone would.
A sending recorder.
He just needs
Hologram projector,
so
like they have in Star Wars.
he needs a telegraph.
Yeah. I'll also tell him that where we are right now, the kind of magic that we use to communicate is dangerous. So it'll probably be best for him to stay in the box for most of the time.
Very well. If you wish to find a new method of communication, it can be devised. I could go back to writing. I just need to know
Teach him common.
your language. How to write
I
your
knew it.
language.
I was thinking this the whole time. You're putting so much work into having you understand him. Why can't he understand us?
Because it's hard for he can't read stuff on a paper.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
He could
a way to-
learn.
He doesn't have eyes.
But
We'd have to teach
I
him, like,
thought of
Braille.
something and then forgot about it and stopped pursuing it.
He could
Essentially.
cast spells, comprehend languages.
But still, if he can't see the language, how is he going to comprehend it?
He can see depth, right? And he can see the magic.
He can perceive magic, energy,
He's 10.
and yes, he does have depth perception when it comes to this. He also seems to have some sort of echolocation ability, although it's probably not exactly that. More like a very, very evolved tremor sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since apparently this didn't get cleared up during our 2-week study, but you know, so I guess we'll go ahead and just test it, just so it's out there completely unambiguously been tested. Raimi is going to pull out a piece of paper. He is going to pull out his quill, and he is going to, in the language of the stars, to the best of his ability, write, "Can you read this?"
With the magic pen?
Hold on.
Imagine if this works. This is where Fisher's 9 wisdom comes into play.
All right.
I thought we already tried it.
While I reread the quill, I think we're going to go on break. That way people don't have to watch us just look at rules. And we'll be back
That's the
after
most
the break.
exciting part of D&D. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I know, everyone is always so...
It's what everybody argues about.
Yeah.
That means it's exciting, right?
But when we come back, I do want to talk to my ball before I go to sleep. See how he
You can
got
always
good.
talk to your balls.
You talk to your balls?
Ball,
Okay.
my right one, my right ball.
Oh, now I
Yeah.
understand.
Alright,
angry
not
one.
sure
alright,
for
so
my left one.
for some
Freaking
reason
audience.
my second monitor has stopped showing me what people want. So if Allenby's there, you get the ducks.
She said duck. She said ducks question mark.
We are going to get the ducks. I don't know why, but my second screen just shut down. Alright. Ducks for the break, and we will be back in 15 minutes. Bye. Hello and welcome back. Sorry we took a little bit of extra time, but Skype was giving us problems. Hopefully everything is settled and it's not the reason why Fisher and audience are not back. Alright, so we can shut the ducks up because right now there's no duck outside. Alright. Hello! So we're only missing Fisher.
Fisher!
Alright.
Start fishing.
So,
With a PH.
I believe we were investigating if there was a way to use the quill to write things that Terry could see. So yes, there is a way. If you use the final function of the quill to write spells inside of a spell book, you basically use a gem as an inkwell. It really becomes an inkwell because it consumes the gem as you're writing. That would create magical writing, something that Terry would most likely see.
All right. In which case, provided that that Fisher can hear anything I'm saying, I'll at least say for the benefit of everybody else. Oh yeah, no, Raimi has plenty of these bitches. So Raimi, for the record of everybody else, is going to hand Fisher the quill as well as one of his 10 gold gems.
All right. I believe that
And then-
to write a first level spell, it's just for the amount of ink that would give you. A first level spell is 100 gold or 50 gold?
50.
50 gold. Then a 10 gold gem would, in normal writing, would probably give you the equivalent of a page written normal spacing.
Single space, 12-point Arial font,
Please don't.
Comic. It's a Comic Sans.
1-inch margins.
Oh, yes. I remember those. Okay.
So basically,
15 pages.
unless Fisher wants to get really, really creative,
Well,
he could.
I don't know. When is he gonna come back?
I don't know.
Did he fell unconscious on the toilet?
You get him off the toilet.
Oh wait, hold on. I have a solution.
Somebody call him on Discord.
He's in my house. I can go get him.
I have my dagger of omens.
Oh, jeez.
Thunder,
If I don't come back, call the
Thunder.
cops.
Thundercats.
Oh no, I do hear the fan going. I think he's in the bathroom.
Okay. Well, at least now you've been transformed. Although I'm more of a fan of the He-Man transformation. There's something a little bit more.
She-Ra.
Yeah, I think it works as well. She is pretty strong.
I guess it's a different kind of transformation though, because like in the case of the like He-Man, it's just like his entirety plus Battle Cat.
Oh yeah, don't forget Battle Cat.
But then in the case of like Thundercats, it's really just the sword that transforms. But then again, Lion-O got like that singular transformation, like at the beginning of the series.
Sailor
You'll
Remy.
recall that he's actually a child, but given a much stronger masculine body because of the sword.
Yeah.
I like
Really
Shazam.
All right, Fisher, you're back.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I understand how it is to be stuck in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Be dying inside.
We all fall in sometimes.
Although it's been quite a few years since that happened, but I understand it. Don't worry. All right, so we were saying before we started talking about swords and He-Mans and Battle Cats and Thundercats, we were saying, Fisher, Remy hands you the possibility to write with magical ink. He takes out a quill, he takes out a gem, he puts the two together, and then the quill slowly absorbs parts of the gem to write it with magical writings. Basically, the gem has become the inkwell.
How long have you... Did I know you had that?
You guys practiced with
The
it?
answer is no.
Yeah, I think this will work. Does Terry react to... Because you wrote on it, right? Or did we not get that?
Since what was said, it's like we'll say that Raimi initially tried it with the standard ink that it can create, but presumably Terry did not react, and so
Okay.
Well,
the next experiment was trying it with magical ink instead.
Terry reacted by saying, "It's a familiar smell."
Hmm.
What does it mean?
So did you hand me the pen?
He has now handed it to you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, try and write. Yeah, can you read this with the now magical ink?
You see there's a pause. And you get the feeling that you might have misspelled something.
Which I imagine is a pause that everybody in this particular room actually is very familiar with, considering they were all part of the same study group.
So there's a pause, and Terry looks at you. I'm sorry, you want me to breed this?
I will use minor religion to try to say, no, sorry, understand, or...
Oh, read. That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Breed it, Terry. Breed it.
It's like, I am but child, but if that is what you desire of me, Father.
I can see something. What does it mean? No, that's your translation. The actual word would be I can perceive something.
So he can... Wait.
Perceive something. He doesn't have
Okay.
any eyes. The word see does not exist in his vocabulary.
Ah, yes. Makes sense. But he was able to at least misunderstand the first question, so he can read it.
Yes.
It seems like okay.
Like, I misunderstood that. I misunderstood that.
I will star at him. I can use this to teach you our language.
That would be useful.
And then I will I think I'll try and copy.
A dictionary?
Yeah. Yeah, the dictionary that we have put together. That seems like a lot, and if I understand correctly, this runs off of gems.
Yes. So with a gem of 10 gold, you'd probably be able to write the equivalent of a single page of writing.
Uh-huh. Can I go through and just... Sonny, stop it. Just write what would be like, I guess, the basics of the language, because I know he's super smart, and if I'm not going to be able to get all of it, what would make it easiest for him to...
You can definitely write the alphabet. That's relatively easy. As for the rest,
he's just going to make his own new language, but just with the same alphabet.
Yeah, I think that would be the biggest the potential problem. If you're just giving the alphabet and a few lessons, he might actually end up with a language that's completely different, but you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily know what it means. That's because usually we learn things by associating. We know that this thing is an apple, and then later we learn how to write it with the language we have. And then there are things which don't necessarily make sense. Why would an apple have two peas? It only makes sense if you have the grammar. And so you see how it just keeps piling and piling and piling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even need the etymology of a word to understand why it's written in that way. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
I can teach him.
Yeah.
I mean, just for just as somebody who has actually been teaching people how to speak a foreign language, albeit using the same writing system, you'll want to start with key phrases and then work your way over to more generalized grammar concepts. Because otherwise, you're giving them basically a bunch of information that they can't use.
Well, my question
Makes
is,
sense.
what role would it be to take to teach someone?
For you, it would probably... Well, I'd say it could be intelligence for both.
You just sign them up for Duolingo.
Not history. Wisdom.
Wisdom is more for intuition things. So, yeah, learn language through intuition. That's
Intuition, yeah. That's definitely. You
my
got
intuition
this.
says this is cheese, but it's an apple. No, it's cheese. I know it.
You guys can't hear it, but I am screaming on the inside.
You sure it's not a
Are
religion
you bothered
thing?
by everybody talking about your area of expertise very poorly?
It's just like we could just intuit our way to learning a language.
Let's just give them all our letters and tell them to figure it out.
Yeah, that's how you get a new language with the same alphabet.
Yeah, you do.
That's how you,
You do know
that's how you
that
get Russian.
there's.
Yeah.
You are aware that there are 20. Oh goodness.
26 in English.
Yeah,
I gotta learn the vowels
there
and
are
stuff
26 common letters between French and English.
I went to Spanish class in high school twice. I know what I'm talking about.
But without getting too deep into the technicalities here, but just like try explaining the concept of a vowel to somebody who cannot hear the sound.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That wouldn't work, would it? Yeah, just sound it out. Huh.
Or it's just like it's like it would like be meaningless to make a distinction between a consonant and a vowel because
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll ask Remy how many of these gems can I use? I'd pay you back. None of my money's in gems.
it's just like looks at you, looks at Terry, looks at a bag off to his side. And kind of like says in us, I guess it would be sort of like a resigned mother's voice, I suppose. It's like, for the children.
Thank you, Ramy.
Looks up to you and says, as much as you need, bucko.
And hands you a 500 gold gem.
And then I will start, copying the dictionary into magic ink.
You can be a bit more selective, you know. I'll leave it up to you.
I'll try and organize it in a way that would be helpful. Do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We might get something weird.
Rolls a natural one, organizes the entire dictionary in alphabetical order, but that includes all of the phrases too.
What am I adding to it?
Well, since you've been speaking since you were young, I'd give you proficiency.
Okay. So with just proficiency, that's a 19.
All right. Well, you're proud of your work when it's done. You don't know how good it is because you've never teached a language to someone before, but you think it's good. You think it's gonna work. You know, he's gonna figure it out. He's a smart kid.
Yeah. All right.
Then you have Remy looking at you, just going. No, sorry, that's Zachary. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, I would have Raimi do the same thing, but it's not like he's an expert either. If somebody has learned any language intuitively, it is
Yeah.
Raimi.
Yeah.
All right, so the evening passes, the night passes, you write down stuff. You stop before you are forced to abandon a long rest. And then you just go in a corner and start relaxing a bit.
This time he's got the tea that he can drink. Oh wait, or is this the night before still?
This is still the first night.
Oh, okay.
This is just before going to bed. You just realize that you can do this, right? Before everyone goes to sleep, you're just going through all of the herbs and mushrooms that you gather. Just go, yeah, I think I have what I need to do this. Oh, I'll have to work on it all day long, but yeah. I think I can do it.
Fisher looks up from being finally done and go. Everybody's like, dude, it's been 2 days. What do you? Oh shit.
So now we're done with A's. Now to be.
But yes, I will make sure to get that long rest.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. That check needed to be at disadvantage.
Yes.
Can we say
Wow.
for your benefit that Raimi was helping?
Okay.
Well, I rolled the same thing, so I think we're good.
All right. All goes well. The night goes relatively well. You still feel uneasy, tired, beaten down by everything that's there, frustrated even at having being opposed with creatures so efficient at completely shutting down spellcasting. As if you were caught at the end of a very long war, where everything has been specialized and the advancement have been done, but that war never ends. So the best that the world can offer is always what is offered to fight against whomever comes. Audience, your night is a bit restless. You do get your long rest, but your night is a bit restless as you keep dreaming of you're not sure, as if the sun kept trying to rise, and just before the first rays of light goes through the horizon, it just goes back to setting sun. It's as if the sun just can't push high enough. You've heard about this. People living in the complete upper end of the world, the polar circle, those living in these island chains, they sometimes have months without light, and their dawn and dusk sometime will last for weeks. You feel like this might be exactly what's going on here. It feels like the light is the influence of your God. You've never felt so distant from your God. Still able to reach it, but so barely. So very, very little of it can come true. Fisher, you also feel restless. Something you're not used to. and something you also are not used to. You have this moment of relaxing so much, the different images start appearing in front of you, as if you didn't even try to sleep. But that's what happened. Not quite completely asleep. Sort of that moment where you're just enough asleep that your imagination can influence the images that appears in your mind, but not more. You have this very brief, disturbing picture of a troll being chained in a cave. At first, it's a troll. It doesn't... you've seen troll before. They're never really nice. You've seen one that was ugly as heck and tried to break you apart. But when you look at that troll, you notice that it has human eyes. Pleading human eyes. You can't help but feel that this troll is in pain, suffering. And you see a person arriving and starts carving up the troll, carving up bits and pieces, fingers, toes, a large flank of flesh, as if it was carving a steak out of it. The troll screams, tries to break the chain, but can't. Then eventually the person leaves the troll, bloodied, moaning. Immediately you start seeing the originative ability of the troll rebuilding the elements which have been taken out. But even more disturbingly, you see this person walking outside of the cave and then distributing this meat to a population as if it was normal meat, the kind of meat you'd get from a pig or a chicken. And everyone eats it, believing it is. You get the feeling that only that person knows that this is not pork, this is not chicken. But everyone is very happy to eat and very content in their illusion that it is pork, chicken.
When they leave the room, do they go outside?
Yeah.
Or do they go?
They go outside of the cave. So that
can I see outside the cave?
Yeah, this is where you see the population. You just look at it when it's leaving, and you're sort of being drawn with the person. So you have on one side the realization that the people being fed this meat does not see where it's coming from.
If I look up, can I tell if this is here on the Misty Isles somewhere?
There are no landmark that helps you distinguish anything. The cave looks polished, so probably man-made.
Mm-hmm.
The outside, you haven't seen a lot of towns, cities, and villages in here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
But
sure.
if I look up, is it misty, or does the mist make it just look like it's always overcast?
Yeah, the mist always just makes it look like this, and so it's hard to determine, is it just overcast or is it the mist really?
Okay. And what does the person look like?
He's wearing a robe. You're not sure if it's priestly or wizardly, but it's definitely a spellcaster's robe.
You could tell they went to school, but you don't know if they went to preschool or priest school.
And can I tell what race they are?
That's a bit hard. The person that carved out the troll stake does appear to be human, but the villagers, there's not enough detail that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Too far away. The dream just doesn't want you, doesn't focus on this element.
Do I like get any sense of whether this is supposed to be like a metaphorical depiction of something, or if this is more of like a actually seeing something?
Well, from what you've been told, the nature of dreams are metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
They mostly work with symbols. Sometimes it can be literal. When you meet someone you know, usually, in a dream, it can be literal. If you see a place that you're very familiar with, it can be literal. But it doesn't necessarily mean it is. But it can. But in general, you can rely on the fact that it is a symbol. Even if it is a symbol that represents a lot, if you were to see audience in a dream, it might actually be talking about audience, but it could also simply mean everything that audience means to you as a symbol. It talks about a person who is like this, an impulse who is like this, who will do things like this, who will justify itself like this.
So if you see audience like rummaging through a dumpster like a raccoon.
Okay. Is that the end of the dream then?
That is all that this half dream gives you.
Okay. Weird.
And you all wake up in the morning. Remy, I do believe you took some damage. You let yourself heal yourself. You let yourself heal naturally, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like, I don't recall any healing spells being cast on me.
So, when you wake up, you have this odd feeling as if a gnome was watching you. You get up and you notice there's a feather in your bed. Whether you're a feather.
It's the feather.
You look around in your bed and you notice several feathers.
It's a real bad time to be molting.
Well, that's the problem. It's not the right time of the year. I did do my research. I know when crows usually... I know when ravens actually molt, so... and how long it takes to grow back. You realize that there are small spots on your body where the feathers have just fallen off. You know, roughly 10% of your body.
Oof.
Which is roughly how the percentage of hit point you lost. It does feel a little bit itchy where it fell. You have this sudden impulse to reach for the cream that you were given. And then the whole puzzle just goes... Oh, god damn it. So, for you personally, this is the second curse that you failed to save with the gnome. Whenever you go to bed, the percentage of hit point that you are lacking transfers to a percentage of feathers you lose during the night. They grow back normally. If you find a spell that can help you grow back hair, for you it would grow back your feathers. It's just... they fall. So now you have bald spots in a few locations, especially where, you know, where the skin rubs.
Well, it's a good thing that Raimi wears a coat.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second curse that you failed. And although...
It's not just the stress caused by
No.
our party's
No.
stupidity.
Although Remy does not know this detail, for you, if you want to describe Remy in the morning sometime, it really is a direct proportion. If you go to bed with hit point missing, the amount of hit point that is missing translate into a percentage, and that percentage is the amount of feathers you lose during the night. But it is a unnaturally caused natural molting. So, things that can make feathers grow back will work.
It's a real shame that the regenerate spell is level 7, so not anytime soon.
Other than that's it. You wake up and that's the only difference for you. As for Jorg and Tobiashu, I'm really sorry. There's nothing special I can give you right now.
We should. So
I'd
if,
rather have nothing special happen than something bad happen.
if Raimi stays unconscious for 8 hours, does that mean he just wakes up naked?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to wake up and take my key point back with my silk. I was in front of the door. And then wake up Grandpa.
Audience, you still feel exhausted. It hasn't completely removed the exhaustion, but you know, that morning with everything that happened, you still feel sore about everything, and there's that dream telling you that you are barely in reach of godly powers. Enough for your spell slot to be fueled, but whew. Something is
I go.
blocking things.
I shake him. I'm like, Grandpa Elprin. Yep, Grandpa.
You're,
Okay.
you're still
My mouse, yes, my mouse was
okay.
struggling. Click the unmute button. I wake up. Ah! Sonny, what's going
Audience.
on?
Audience, you don't gotta act like that. We're in a room alone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was someone else here.
Our last
You were
name is
saying Grandpa.
Elprum. Our last name is Elprum. Just to let you know.
Our
My
last
name
name
is
is
Sel.
Elprum.
Yes, my name is Seldrum. You can come up with your first name if you want.
I don't remember anything. I don't have to come up with anything.
Yeah. I'll just call you Elprum, Grandpa Elprum. If anybody asked.
He's so old, nobody knows his first name.
Yeah. Like he's on the verge of dying, you know, like becoming a zombie. So, all right. All right. We should probably meet up with the rest of them, and I guess we were looking for a place of knowledge, library, whatever it's called here.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it's not hard finding all of your party members. You just have to walk out the door and wait a moment, and you'll see someone else walking out the door, and then voila, you're reunited. It does feel a bit
All right.
weird waking up in a place where it just feels like it's always cloudy. It's always thick overcast. As if the sun really hasn't completely risen. Sort of that moment where you, this is gonna take some getting used to.
All right, everybody. What do you want your name to be?
I'll be
Want your name to be Gorg?
Gorg. That's a good one. Or I could be.
I don't see why we need fake names. Nobody here knows us. Like
Still,
literally.
even so, like, why would you want to tell everyone our real name?
Although, I guess maybe if Colin didn't manage to escape.
And we told everyone our name on the other place.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's just safe thinking, you know. I don't do this sneaking around stuff all the time. It was an idea.
Here,
I
why don't
forgot
we
our last
actually
name,
talk in y'all's room?
All right, yeah, come in.
I'll start setting up my my potion making equipment.
All right, I didn't want to have to make. Okay, so as we have the door closed and everything, we're talking quietly. I didn't want to have to make a name for everybody. So, if you guys want to make your own name, my name, well, the one that I made is Seldrum, and then I forgot the last name that I picked for me and Grandpa.
Started
Eldrum.
with
Eldrum.
Eldrum? Okay.
Seldrum Eldrum, yeah. So Eldrum, yeah, that's good to
George
remember.
with a
So
J.
Seldrum Eldrum. So yeah, just call him Grandpa Eldrum. Seldrum Eldrum, whatever you guys want to be called, just let us know.
From inside of you, Fisher, you hear, okay, so now we have to add lazy to his name tag.
Lazy.
You can't hear that.
you didn't hear anything.
I know. Here's something in the back of my head. What?
Also, did y'all have a weird dream about a troll last night?
I slept like a log.
Me too.
I don't think I had a dream about a troll.
I just usually I don't have dreams, and when I do, everybody has the same dream. So
No,
I
no
figured I'd
trolls
ask.
in my dream.
So Remy, do you have an idea for a name, or can I give you one?
Bob.
Remy just looks confused.
All right, we're calling you Temmie. Anyway,
I'll go with Odrin.
Odrin. Okay.
Yeah. Timmy.
Yeah, Temmie.
This is gonna be interesting. Look.
We are a pretty distinct group.
That's part of the problem. But I mean, I guess anything
Help
might
out a
help.
little bit.
We.
Remy
I'm
just
gonna call
tilts his head
Civ.
the other direction.
Fisher's name is Usher.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Civ.
All right. It just takes a moment, but after 5 or 6 seconds, he answers.
How's everything back there?
I am on my way to the process. I am riding the train. I should be arriving in 20 minutes.
We're at Toby, what's this place called?
I was too busy coming up with names. Oh, it's called the Process.
No, the inn.
Oh, Black and Barrel or something like that. Is that close? Was I
DM
close?
nodded approvingly.
Yeah.
I don't know
we're
who
at-
you were asking.
I was asking, you were Draken because I know you take notes, and Draken will know.
Yes, but I told you before. I don't need to tell you again. That's your memory. That's Tobiyashi, you know? He didn't pay much attention, so that's okay.
I was paying attention to trying to make names for everyone. You know, I was too busy making names.
You know, the important things.
Yeah, after sleeping, it's a whole new Toby.
Very well. I believe I know what it is.
Alright.
Big-
We also believe we got a message from Colin that we found on the train in a secret language that only we know.
Yes, the language that half of you spent the entire voyage trying to learn, I believe.
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yes and no. I stayed a little bit more in town. I was forced to wait until the train in the morning, and I did get more information. Your friend was captured, but rumors has it that someone managed to escape from the train while it was moving. If you say that someone left you a message in a language only you can understand, I would assume that it is a language that quite literally you and only your friend can understand.
Yeah. So, yeah, we assume it was him. He said he was going to try and escape. It sounds like he may have succeeded.
Well, I don't know how much of a success jumping off a train going at 32 miles an hour is, but if he survived, then he's somewhere in the forest.
I've heard the
Okay.
forests are dangerous.
They are.
There's zombies and whatnot.
Are you talking about 32 horsepower an hour? I don't know what miles in that. No.
Well, to not completely uproot you from this world, I did
32
use
knots?
I did use miles as a measure of distance. I have since the beginning, so.
Okay.
But the concept
Okay.
of what we were going 32 miles in an hour? Damn.
That is pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. We're still pretty drained from our scuffle.
If okay,
So
If
we're
we-
planning on laying low for a bit, I think.
but okay. So, sorry to cut you off in your orb. If time is of the essence, right? He might be injured. We don't know if he broke an arm or leg, concussion, whatnot. Me, Remy, and Jorg could go, but that is pretty risky. Just being
I don't think we should split up
the
like
three
that.
of us.
I think we'd all have better chances if we wait.
But what would happen to him? His chance of survival would become worse, right?
Yeah, but if just 3 of us go, our chances of survival are
You know, I'm
slim
gonna try
enough.
calling him again.
Maybe we shouldn't, because if he rings and he's under like capture, they're gonna find the orb in our form of communication.
They can't track us with it.
That is true.
But I guess they would see us pop up, right?
All right, then point
Yeah.
it towards the wall. Point it towards the wall when you call. He could still hear us, right?
Yeah. I
Alright,
guess.
point it towards the wall and call him. Well, I'll call him. You're still on the call with Civ.
I'll just tell Civ. Yeah, just meet us
gonna
here
call Civ back?
when you get off the train.
Yes. In the meantime,
We're upstairs in room 4.
4 and 6.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you have to interact with people, remember, a city is called a process. A station is a town. And a waypoint is a village. There is a station at each end of an island. Always. If you need to make up something, a place of origin, where you are from, this is information you can rely on. Waypoints appeared much later in our history. People will not mind if you do not tell them a name. Each city, each town, each village, they do have names, but it is also very common to call them simply the Eastern Station, the Western Station, Northern, and Southern.
If you come to the tavern that we were talking about, where the fisher's coming from the east.
Very well. Now, be careful. If you try to hide in specific places, temples will accept anyone, but they are very frequently visited by the enforcers. Inn are sometimes visited by enforcers, but there you will get more questions. People will be curious about who you are because they haven't seen you before. Staying in the street during the night is not a good option. You will get intercepted by things more dangerous than ill ease. Don't try to draw too much attention. Stay on your toes.
All right. We'll see you in 30.
And the orb closes.
Maybe just looking down at his feet, considering he can really only be on his toes.
Are we gonna call?
Yeah, I thought you said you were gonna do it.
Oh yeah, okay. I start to call it, but I point it towards the wall.
Okay. It takes a moment. But eventually you hear something. Why are you so persistent?
On calling you? What do you mean?
Does it sound like calm?
It sounds
Yeah,
like
does it sound
calm,
like him?
but he sounds nervous and he is whispering.
Alright, continuing to point to the wall. What's going on? Are you okay? That's what we want to know. That's why we're persistent.
No, not are you okay? Where are you? Quick questions.
Yeah, where are you?
I don't know exactly. I jumped in the forest. An hour ago I walked by a river.
You see anybody?
Checking the map.
Undead? Anything?
Why do you think I'm whispering?
Okay. We're at the process. We're gonna try to get to as fast as we can, but some people aren't gonna be able to, so we have to stay here for at least a day. Will you be able to make it here by then, or do we have
He
to
might
come
be
to you?
wanted. He might be wanted. I don't think you should come to the capital.
Process.
Yeah, process. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they work. I don't know how they file things. I don't know if they have. I wasn't conscious when they placed me inside of this infernal machine. I just woke up and it was going so fast and I jumped. I did take out one guard, so they might know a bit of my abilities.
All right. All I could say is stay low.
Oh shit!
We'll
I'll call
come
back
to
if I
get
can.
you.
The communication cuts there.
Fuck. Shit.
Toby, you got to be more concise with your questions, man.
I was.
You were asking the man if he was okay. This isn't a daycare.
Well, we don't know if he broke his leg or something. What if he can't walk as fast? What if he has a head trauma or something?
We need location and a place to meet.
Well, before we cut off, I told him to stay low. So
Look, I'm
I
sure
shoulda
he'll use your great advice.
I should have asked him when he jumped. Like, well, he was
This
asleep. Huh?
on the map, this squiggly line that looks like it leads to a lake in the center of an island. I'm assuming that's a river.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we have a. Do we actually have a map of the Misty Isles, or is this just for us as players?
Well, Remy saw it a whole lot of times, so.
Okay.
You.
And we did cross that river on the train.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is.
We know approximately where he is.
Yeah, that is. That is 16 miles from the city.
Fuck.
Damn.
60?
No, 1-6.
Yeah, he said
16.
16. Okay.
16.
Oh,
Okay.
Still.
I mean, I'll
By
let
the
you
way, I
guys
do
decide.
actually need to go soon. Just letting you guys know we don't have to end right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys decide. Because I'm not making the decision.
Audience and I would
I know you guys would like
hurt more than help if we tried
to
to
go, right?
go.
We can literally move like 15 feet per. We like barely. I literally move like old men. Like we stumble. Like that's why the guys work.
That's why I was saying just me, George, and Remy. But if it, I don't know if
I don't think that would be a good idea. If he's having that much trouble out there, like, I hate to leave him out there, but it doesn't
you
do
have
him any
to-
good if we
We
die.
could-
Yeah, you have to remember he's probably safer on his own, not having to. No offense, he's a higher level than, or not higher. How do I put this? He's strong. He's a stronger adventure.
He's more experienced
than us. I feel like it might hurt more with him having to babysit the rest of us than him actually just trying to move by himself and try and get himself to safety.
He's not that much more experienced, though, is he?
Okay.
not that much more.
Okay, Raimi's going to hold up a talon.
Uh-huh.
Actually, he was going to hold up 2 talons, and
Okay,
he's
Raimi.
going to do the flip-flop motion.
So either or.
And Raimi is going to minor illusion I'm just going to name a random person here. A wanted poster for Buck-Eyed Bill.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You saying either way, he's probably wanted?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if he was actually captured, I mean, he's at least on some register.
Uh-huh.
So even if we got to him, we wouldn't be able to bring him back.
No, I think that a good place for him, I think we should honestly somewhat stick to the plan of trying to find a library. Because I think if we can find a library, that would actually be a decent location for him to hole up in while we because it seems like they're kind of safe in that they're abandoned to the point where the security doesn't go there. So if we can help find him a hiding location, that's probably more helpful than us going out there and trying to directly rescue him.
If we did find a library, how would we get him get to the library?
Give him the coordinates and tell him to start moving there, and then we could at least have a meetup point.
But he would still have to go into town.
Why would he have to go to town if he was
I
going
don't think
directly to the
libraries are
library?
in the
The libraries aren't in the towns.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Are they? Do we get
I
that
don't think
sense?
so.
DM?
From what Civ said.
Let's just say that they might be more in places where there are less people there. It's not a place of good reputation. There might be a way to get in there sneakily. But they would be inside of the wall. Just...
So they would still have to get into the place.
The wall of
the city.
the process?
Yeah.
Of the process, yeah.
Okay. It's just they'd be in the bad parts of town.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And possibly watched over.
To enter, yes. But once there, audience might not be wrong.
All right. I mean, Civ's going to be here not that long. I kind of feel bad asking him to clean up everything behind us, but he would probably make it.
What if we tell
best
Civ
chance?
to help call?
Yeah.
He's on the
If
train
Civ
already.
went just by himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Civ is going to be morning shift? Is that what I'm hearing?
Sorry, what?
Morning.
Sorry.
Morning shift always has to clean up everything that night shift does.
Yeah. Sorry, I've worked at a gas station too long.
I have a friend who worked in a gas station for a long time.
Never do the beer cooler, I'm telling you guys.
Never do the beer cooler.
All right, so
So we wait here for Civ. You guys got to rest anyways. Jorg has to make his tea.
Yeah, I'm making you guys some potions so that you guys can get it unexhausted faster. This is a 1-day cup
I'm
of
pretty
coffee.
sure. Remy, I don't know if you'd want to
Okay.
do it, but me and you could go to find the library. Because I don't know how much help an old man, someone who can't walk much, get there would be.
inside of the city, if you're careful, there are a lot less monsters than outside.
Well, yes.
It's still very much protected. It's just that you have to be careful about the police, essentially.
Yeah, but I mean, between anybody else here, me and Remy are the sneakiest and most perceptive.
Yeah, I'm
We could
gonna
find
be
the place
really
and then
bad
come
at
back.
being quiet or evading police.
Yeah. So I don't know if Remy would be down to go with me. It's up to Remy at this point. As I'm talking about this with everybody.
Audience is finishing eating his breakfast. You know, a very good berry.
Not a good berry. It's a great berry.
Awesome sauce berry.
We have a while to think. We have a while to think about this, so we don't have to leave now. These are all
Well,
just options.
what I'm trying to know before we finish the stream is what's your plan for today? Is it that Jorg is staying behind to make his potion? Is it that Jorg, Audience, and Fisher are staying behind to rest and make the potion? Who's leaving? Who's staying? What are you doing? That's all I want to know before we end the stream.
Yeah.
I
Jorg
think
is definitely staying.
technically me and Fisher could race for another 8 hours and then be somewhat okay.
You can't do back-to-back long rests.
Can't.
No.
Mhm.
That's bullshit. No,
I mean, if you wake up in the morning, you can't. Well,
no
sometimes.
I,
you
Have
well,
I-
I was gonna
immediately.
say
I'm
if
pretty
I
sure I
was, like,
mentioned
so
this
tired.
last stream, or if not, it was again outside a session. But have I ever mentioned before that exhaustion is the worst condition in the game?
Yeah, it's rough. I think Audience,
okay, I think
Fisher,
that
and
we
George at the very least stick around at the end.
stick
George
around.
can work on his potions. Fisher will work with Terry.
Audience will do nothing.
No, practice
You
your
can help me with the
dragon
potions.
chest.
Yeah, I
Back
can
to
help
Dragon
Jorg with
Chest.
the potions.
Yeah, I'll need I don't need assistance, but it'll be nice.
Okay, I can assist Jorg with the potions, and then what? Remy and Toby can go try and find information on a library.
Find a library. I guess it's up to Remy.
I think
I
Remy just has
trust
to go for
Remy with that.
supervision's sake.
As long as Remy's in charge.
So Tobiyashi is
Yeah.
going to find a library, and Remy is going to make sure Tobiyashi survived this.
That's about right.
Alright, so Finn Fisher stays in the inn to work with Terry and trying to make him learn Common, and Audience
Helps Jorg.
helps Jorg, and fortunately, because he's mostly tired, he can't fuck this up for Jorg. No, you can...
Just pay attention,
starts-
make sure he's not
He starts
snacking
reading
on
the
mushrooms.
ingredients.
you
Starts
know,
reading the ingredients to the tea. It's just like, where am I going to get Dragonborn
You
piss
got-
at this hour?
You guys forget that Audience was a cook, and cooking isn't too different than potion
Uh-huh.
making. So they have some skill there.
This is more akin to cooking meth.
Hey, you don't know. Hey, you don't know when I was cooking back at camp. I was cooking for soldiers, baby. I was trying to get them riled up. You don't know what I was cooking.
This is good fairy mess. This is good fairy mess.
Well-
So I'm-
Talking about it.
What I was going to say is the essence of this is that Jorg needs to dry the leaves that he has properly. If you dry them too quickly, you ruin the essential oils inside of the plant. If you dry them too slowly, they rot. So this is
they're
getting
gonna
that
put them back.
balance of, all right, this is fast enough, this is not fast enough. Yes, Audience would be able to help a little bit as a cook. He would be able to estimate that this is a very harsh fire. This is something very much slower. He might have actually had to smoke for preservation, meat, not in the other way, not the other sense. So
Although, now that I'm thinking about it, though, I feel like Dragonborn would try to find a way to smoke meat.
Okay. So you'd be able to help in that very long, slow, annoyingly slow. I was trying to
Painstakingly meticulous.
process.
Has my shirt ended itself?
Oh yes,
yet?
absolutely. It doesn't take it too long. Within a few minutes, it's completely. The moment that no one else is looking at you to put you in valor, the shirt starts mending, and it only takes a few minutes.
Okay, got it.
So basically, when Rainy leaves the room.
So, while you were sleeping in the train, it would most likely have completely mended itself. So yeah, it's a slow process, but you are aware of if you cook something too quickly, you ruin the preservation process. Too slowly, it rots, and it's the same thing on a different scale. Haha.
As me and Remy leave the room, I'll tell Remy, I'll be like, I'm sorry, you gotta come with me. I know you'd rather be with the audience, but I need your help.
2.0? No, sorry.
And that's all I say to Remy as we're walking down the stairs.
That's really worried.
For some reason.
End of next session, Raimi comes back to the inn, just like, and he's by himself. It's like, Raimi, what happened to Toby?
Just shrugs.
That was like my last goodbye. That was like my last goodbye to everybody. We pick a new person up.
The sad part is that like he has the exact spell he needs to show
Remy
exactly
comes
what
back with a
happened.
random prisoner from the island, and can't tell me right now.
Yeah. I come back.
This is your new party member, guys.
Yeah, this is you guys' new party member. They took the orb from Toby, and
I found this guy on the street, and he looked better than Tobiyashi, so I took him.
he didn't multi-class. I don't know what it was. I just felt it.
Multi-class.
No,
This guy's even more allergic to shirts.
But
He was also hanging out.
Your multi-class is finally becoming slightly okay. Don't stop now.
Yeah, it's just that
I'm
you
getting
multi-class too soon, but
I feel like Monk not multi-class at this point would have been better. Maybe.
Well, that's just because 7 has evasion.
I mean, there is that.
don't worry.
Level
Fighter Monk is not a bad
10.
multi-class. It's just that it's usually better to wait further in your evolution. But Fighter Monk is not a bad multi-class.
But I'll never. The only thing is that I'll never be a level 20 monk.
No, you'll never be a
Well,
level 20 monk.
You'll never be a level 20 fighter
let's be
either.
clear here. Let's be clear here. You're not missing out much on the level 20 capstone.
But I
if
mean,
anything, you've dodged a bullet.
But
Yeah.
the silken thing, I could have already been like transporting through my silk. I could have already been, I don't know.
No, it's like you don't
But then
get
you
your
wouldn't
next
have
subclass
action
feature
surge.
until level 11. You wouldn't have that right now.
Yeah.
It's like calm
And
your
you'd be
tits.
missing out on 2 damage on all of your more
Yeah, that's true.
meteor hammer attacks. And
Okay.
Alright, so now that we have what's happening, Jorg and audience cooking tea, Fisher teaching, Tobiyashi and Remy exploring the city to find a library. And this is where the episode ends. With the audience looking a bit exasperated at the idea, oh yeah, I really didn't like drying meat. And this is going to be exactly the same. It's just too long. I'd rather cook it, and you have that moment saying, I could use my breath weapon to cook it. No.
No.
Although Remy's flower might be getting hungry right now.
You can leave it.
You already
breathe
have
on
it.
it.
It's inside of your dimensional space.
Yeah, it literally just made sense to like put it in the place where the
I'm
main
not
person
gonna.
who
I'm
can
not gonna
charge it
remember.
has access to it.
I'm not gonna remember that.
He's an old man, remember, guys? Come on.
Alright. So, with this, the episode comes to a close.
No.
And it is going to
3
be...
more hours.
It is... I don't think Sam can last another hour. I think he needs to go.
Damn it.
I do need to go.
So we're playing tomorrow, right? That's what I'm getting.
Well, me personally, I wouldn't mind, but I think there would be some people who can't. But I honestly wouldn't mind. I'd play Dungeons and Dragons for several days in a row. I wouldn't mind at all.
I would love it. I would love. I need another campaign. I guess that's just what
Hey,
I'm hearing.
Trying to build something new, something else. I'm gonna use a website that pays the dungeon master. The player pays the dungeon master. But hey, if you're willing to pay, you could still be part of of my group. Could involve you in other quests elsewhere in the multiverse. You'd get a chance to try a new class, race. And since you already know about the Shattered Continent, you know what kind of race I don't like and what kind of race to pick if you really want me to be mean with you. So
I'll be a cleric tiefling because
No, I
that
don't
always
mind
goes good.
Actually, I think by all accounts, probably the meanest one to make Toby play as a gnome. And that's just because he'd have to follow all the rules.
I mean, my first ever class and race was a cleric tiefling because
okay.
it made so much sense.
But it would
All right.
it would be okay if he was
Yeah, let's.
Nope. It would be okay if he was a gnome from the island chain.
Are we still streaming? Or are we not? I
No,
don't-
actually, we are going to stop right now. So,
Okay.
I'm not-
hold on. This is the closing screen. Closing screen. All right. So, thank you for being here. We hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope you had a pleasant time watching this last episode of the year. We'll be in again, technically next year for exploration of the city and tea making. So, we hope you had a pleasant evening. We hope to see you again next Wednesday or Friday if you're watching this on rebroadcast. Remember, I'm going to try and raid someone else if there are more people present than last week. There was no one there last week. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also support the stream by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, subscribing on Twitch, or if you can't do any of those, simply spreading the word of this channel is tremendously helpful for us, for me, and that is it. So, like I said, see you again next Wednesday or Friday if you watch this on the rebroadcast, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.